This is Greg Troutwine with Maritime Reporter TV, and we're very pleased to be joined today by Jeff Chittum. Jeff, it's been over 3 years since we last caught
Mhm.
up to discuss how advances in welding technologies make shipyards more efficient. When you look at what your clients are asking for, what your team is developing, what has been driving product development from your side?
Yeah, I think there's always improvements and always ongoing, R&D being spent and looking at how do we improve the products to help improve the industry, to help improve, for our end users, right? The product that they're putting out, how can we help them? How can we improve upon their productivity, the quality, but also improving upon the training time and time spent with new employees, or well, when we do launch a new piece of equipment and they want to spend that investment, they don't want a lot of downtime in their facilities on bringing their employees up to speed. And with the aging workforce, we're seeing that more and more.
We talk about the aging workforce and the development of those skills across all that we do. In fact, one of our recent editions of Marine News was dedicated specifically to workforce development. So, again, something that we talk about regularly. So, with all of that as a backdrop, how is ESAB responding?
So ESAB, on the welding equipment side of things, we've launched a whole new platform. I mean, we're very excited about that. We launched it about a year and a half ago, with the Warrior Edge welding platform for us. It's our advanced process, multi-process machines, but they're also fully integrated with our data management system, the InduSuite side of things. So there's the new equipment, the new processes being developed. There's new synergic lines, when it comes to the arc characteristics and the pulse waveforms, but also, with the data management. So that's the Warrior Edge. That's, a new platform for us. And we're very excited for that. And also, what we're excited to be launching this year, you may have seen it at FabTech for those that are watching, but it's our Robust Feed Echo and our Warrior Echo platform. And so this is our off the arc feeders to be working, in the portable industries. And so that echo, whenever you see that echo, that's our voltage capabilities on our off the arc feeders. So we now have voltage adjustment capabilities on our portable feeders, our AVS, robust feed AVS feeders. And so that, in conjunction with our already implemented and really, the backbone of ESAB, heavy welding equipment on the Warrior side of things. So we're really excited about the echoes coming. So when you see Robust Feed AVS, right, what is that? Well, Robust Feed is ESAB's platform of wire feeders that we use on our heavy industrial products. And then the AVS acronym is arc voltage sensing. So that is on our portable feeders, really in not so much legacy, because we do still have the product, but the AVS feeders, you would set the wire feed speed and you would have to adjust your voltage at the power source, right? So the arc is sensing the voltage, and if you needed it adjusted, you would have to go back to the power source to adjust it. Now with the Echo technology, that is giving you the off the arc feeder portability and capabilities, but also with the voltage adjustment at the feeder. So the operator is no longer having to travel back to the power source. They have that full adjustment at the wire feeder. And so we called it Echo. There's other trade names out there, and our competition has names too. But Echo to us is, the wire feeder is talking to the power source, and it's echoing back and forth, power source to wire feeder. And so that's where the Echo comes from. Another big advantage that we have with the Robust Feed platform and the AVS Echo is the IP54 rating. And for those that are not familiar with the IP54 rating, it's the certification given to the testing of environmental testing. And so the IP54, the 5 is for the dust protection and the 4 is for water protection. So the 5 stands for complete dust protection. So there are no holes in the feeder. We actually have gaskets that go around all the doors and sealing out the dust. And then the 4 being the rain or water protection. And so we can have continuous rain or water being sprayed on the feeder from any direction. So we don't have to, if the feeder gets wet or rained on, we don't have to let it sit like some other feeder units out there in the competition. So we can actually continuously weld with some rain or water being sprayed on it. So another big advantage there. keeping the filler metals dry, right? I mean, in the shipyard, you have H4s, H8 filler metals. And so to be able to keep the moisture and the water out of it is a big advantage too.
So, the ABS Echo technology covers standard MIG and flux cord welding. What else is new?
So, yeah, besides the robust feed ABS Echo and the Warrior Echo, is also the Warrior Edge, right? And so our new platform for our advanced processes, connected data management systems. And so with that is also a new HMI, so the human interface for ESAB. Moving forward, we've really taken the stance of advanced processes, advanced technologies, but simplification in the human interface. So if you take a look at the Warrior Edge platform, there's two interfaces. There's an internal HMI screen. And so internally, I mean inside the wire feeder. And so internally, that's where you do your programming, right? So you're telling the equipment what wire you're using, what wire diameter, what gas, also that the system fully understands what it's doing. You tell it what process you're going to be welding, whether it's conventional MIG welding, pulse welding. We have new technologies called craft and speed welding, which is a high deposition spray transfer. We also have our new modified short arc transfers, so root pipe, thin materials. And so that's all done on the internal, right? So you have your welding engineers, you have, maybe your supervisors inside the plant. They're doing those programs, right? They're doing all the setup. But you close that door, and the second interface is on the front of the wire feeder. And so that's where we take, the technology from the inside and simplify it for the operators, right? So they have their wire feed speed, voltage, and there's three programs on the front that they can choose from, right? And that's really it. So if you have created a procedure and saved it in the welding machine, the welder can adjust within those settings, right? If you give them a range, every certified welding procedure out there has some type of range, right? Whether it's 5, 10%, depending on the certification. And so you can give the welder those ranges to operate within, and they can make those adjustments. And that's all done from the front. But like I said, inside doing the programming, the data, and then the outside is the day-to-day wire feed speed voltage adjustments.
So, Jeff, in particular, that RFID technology, that sounds really interesting. Can you take a deeper dive into that? What does it mean for the user and for the manager of the welding system?
So we talk about the Warrior Edge new platform, right, and all the advanced technologies and processes that are in that, and to keep up with the due diligence or the QC side of things of that, one of the new technologies that we've also implemented in this Warrior Edge power source is what we're calling operator management or the RFID cards. And really, what I always say they're very similar to is a hotel key, right? So now you have a hotel key, you walk up, you tap the door on your hotel, and it unlocks your door. And we have that same technology built in. It's right on front of the wire feeder, and we give each welder or each operator their own identification card. And so each end user would program that. So if you had a welder, Joe Smith, you'd say, this is Joe Smith's card. He takes that card out to the power source. And when he taps on that power source or the wire feeder and unlocks it, you can now have the abilities through the data management software that we have to see that, okay, Joe Smith is in station 2 and he is starting to weld, and you can see all the welding parameters we have. So there's a lot to it. We're very excited about all the technology that is in it, but we also have made it very user friendly. And it's really what, to get back from the beginning conversation that we had with this call of what's the industry driving. And that's really it. The new technologies, advanced processes, improving productivity, improving quality, but keeping that user interface of the simplicity and really, having the welders, welding, right? We don't want them programming, we want them welding.